Welcome back everyone, it's your travel friend Herman, and in today's video I'm going to go over some of the places that I visited while on my trip to Athens. As part of my trip that I also took to Istanbul, I went to both countries during that same trip. And being a huge history buff, Athens was definitely on my list for a very long time, and it only made sense that I would go to both countries, not only because it was a lot faster and more efficient, but also saved a lot of money on flights.
See, I like how with the city, even though you're walking in a random spot, you end up seeing ruins of just, a lot of different things. And with pretty buildings right next to it.
The first night that I was there, I kept it relatively simple and just walked around and just get a feel for the city. So that way for the next day, I could actually really start my historical tour of Athens.
You see the Acropolis way in the back. Right back there is the Parthenon and the Acropolis right here, downtown. First morning here in Athens. I like how right in the middle of the traffic and everything, you'll see Hadrian's gate. Which is kind of near the entrance to the Acropolis, but I like seeing that contrast. Headed over to the Acropolis, where the Parthenon is at. So far, very pretty. Just walking by, you can see it up here.
The first stop was one of the stone amphitheaters located on the Acropolis.
So right here is the entrance to the amphitheater, which is closed. You can't see inside, but you can get a little bit up close to it. When I go up there, I'll get to see inside. A real Greek theater. So I like how the old Greek theaters, they used to actually be carved, actually like this in the side of a cliff or a hill, because the natural acoustics of the hill would actually make it so that someone even sitting up here would hear somebody in the theater, in the stage, really well without technology, which I think is really cool. What's cool is I know that this theater was, is maintained and refurbished from time to time. That's why the seats are so new, because it is still used for live performances, just like it was over 2,000 years ago, which I think is amazing. I love that. The very famous Acropolis of Athens, which gives you a view of the city right from the very middle. Ancient, built from around the 2nd century BC, so super old.
And one of the reasons why the Parthenon has such a high historical significance is that this was the birthplace of democracy and really set the stage of how current democracies really operate today. Albeit there are some glaring inefficiencies that everybody all know, but nothing is perfect.
Even just for the view, even if you're not into history, I mean, this is a good place to come. So this building is specifically the Parthenon. This is really the main building of the Acropolis. There are other buildings, a lot of other temples on the slopes. So it's not just one place that you go to; it's multiple. You can actually do one ticket for all the sites on the slopes, and it's a little cheaper. It's like 30 euros versus 20 euros if you just want just the Acropolis. So I'd say if you just go to basically 3 sites, I mean, you'll more than break even. At that point you'll save money. So let's just get that one. Ooh, from here you also get a nice view of the theater. And the Parthenon. This whole area is the treasure trove of ancient sites from ancient Greece. You do see a lot of scaffolding, but it's just to restore and maintain the site so that way it doesn't fall apart. Because ultimately it is over 2,000 years old, so it shouldn't only last so long.
And on the Acropolis, you also find the ruins of the Temple of Athena, which is how the city, or the city-state of Athens, got its name, and now the city of Athens carried it on.
Really good view. Is really packed, but the views, man, it's just like it's so clear today, so clear. Here's the Erechtheion, and this is where the site of the Temple of Athena was located, right next to the Parthenon, which is just gleaming. It's just beautiful, even though it is so worn down, but definitely worth seeing. And that was the Parthenon and the Acropolis. Beautiful place. And then the entrance. Today is such a perfect day. I mean, it's not too hot, it's not humid, and yeah, it's just with a short sleeve or long sleeve light shirt, you're good. This right here is from the north slope of the Parthenon. This one here is the ancient Agora of Athens. Right there is the Temple of Hephaestus, which is included in the Temple of, or the Agora. It's better to just buy the tickets all inclusive for this one and the Parthenon, because it's a little cheaper that way. This one here is the Temple of Hephaestus. It's actually really well preserved compared to all the other temples. It actually still has really the roof and everything. You see all the carvings up there as well. The temple sits on a small hill. You can actually see a little bit more stuff, including the Parthenon, of course, and then the entire complex of the Agora. Even the birds like to hang out. Including the fact that for a long time came Christian, and all these things about like the old gods and a lot of the culture was destroyed. So it's impressive that places like this do still exist and were not destroyed afterwards.
In addition to the site itself, the Agora also has a museum that you can check out, and it's all part of the whole package, and it has a lot of artifacts that you might find interesting while you're there.
This one is Hadrian's library, right in downtown. But more of the site is more than just Hadrian's wall. There's also an old Christian cathedral as well, built during the Roman Empire, and the library, of course. And the reason why this one is particular is called Hadrian's Library is because it was constructed during the reign of Emperor Hadrian. And yes, you might be a little confused. It's like, why is this the case? Because that's a Roman emperor. And that's also because Greece was a Roman province at one point. And it just like the rest of the Mediterranean world was. It's all nestled right in downtown. So that's where you see all the other buildings, newer, much building, on the other side. From the outside, it has 3 floors in total. Well, actually 4, because there's a bottom floor, but very cool. Well, the one cool thing about the museum as well is that you can see the Parthenon and the Acropolis really well.
Unfortunately, I couldn't really film in here very much, but at the same time, I still recommend it because you will see really cool artifacts, great statues, and a whole archaeological site.
And I'm kind of glad I came at nighttime because when you come out, you see the Acropolis all lit up. Very, very pretty. First stop of today is going to be the Archeological Museum.
Another place to visit if you're a history buff, the Archaeological Museum not only has really good artifacts and statues that are definitely worth seeing, but most importantly for me, it had the Antikythera mechanism, which is said to be the world's first computer and was primarily used for navigation. And it's one of those discoveries that really shaped how archaeologists saw the ancient world.
It's actually pretty small. It's actually a little bit smaller than it kind of looks on the outside, but it's actually very concise. And just by the fact that they have the Antikythera mechanism there, that alone, I think it's worth it. But they also have a lot of really good statues, a lot of preserved artifacts that I think are, it's impressive that they've lasted as long. From 2,500 years ago. Right back there is the Olympiacos Stadium. That's the main team here in Athens. There's actually just a sport complex. You can't really come to Greece and at least not check out the waterfront. In this area, there's not a whole lot to do, but I mean, it's nice to just see the water, smell the ocean a bit here in the Mediterranean. Always good. This is the Athens Opera House. Literally just got here and then, they put on a show just for me. So I'm at Stavros Parque, which is right behind me is the Opera House. Here is, it's the park, but right now they have an ice skating ring. I think it's ice skating. Yeah, it's not too cold, but actually just wearing a shirt, but they have the ice skating right now. It's a perfect place to bring the family. I'm really glad I came here too because the top of the Opera House, you get a great view of the waterfront, and you also even get a panorama of what each place is. So yeah, it definitely take the little walk up here to check it out. And because the city doesn't have any skyscrapers, you also get a really good view of the city in general. If you just turn around from the waterfront, you should get a great view, especially on a day like this. See? Great view. And even back there, you can see the Acropolis. I always end up going up a long flight of stairs in a lot of the cities that I go to. Just how it is. Stairs and I are meant to be. I should say stairs and cats and I are meant to be. Right here is the view from Lycabettus Hill. You can see the Acropolis in the back. You can see the coast all around the city. It also has a small chapel. This is the best view of the Acropolis from up top.
And like I usually tell viewers, this is a very, very Instagrammable spot.
You see almost like the hippodrome back there. Whole area going up to the hill and back is really pretty. There are a lot of shops, a lot of restaurants. I'm here in Syntagma Square at the tomb of the unknown soldier.
Since I usually like to go to military sites, I came in at 11 a.m. in the morning because at that time they have the elaborate changing of the guard. It was a really cool ceremony to watch, and it had probably the most unique, strange, but also cool type of marching that I've seen at any of these types of ceremonies. Great activity to go check out with your family, and it's also free. Afterwards, I headed over to St. Dogma Square, which is across the street, and saw that everything was decorated since this was around the time of New Year's. So it was very lively, it had a lot of families, a great atmosphere.
Basically, it's always good to do a random walk around the city at the end of the trip.
Well, thank you everyone for watching. I hope you found this video useful for when you plan your trip to Athens. So don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And until next time, bye.